What have you done to this?
I tried something new.
Saffron and tarragon, you always wrap them in sage leaves. Where's the sage?
The tarragon's fresh, and it wouldn't hurt you to try it.
This is a most unpleasant shock, Fritz. It may possibly be edible, but I'm in no humor to risk it. Remove it, please. Bring me 4 coddled eggs and a piece of rye toast.
He's going to punish me by eating eggs.
Well, I'm off. I am having dinner with a dream girl, appropriately named Dawn.
Dawn? Please, Archie, spare me the rest of the lurid details.
I'll get it. I think you got the wrong house, kid.
Don't Nero Wolfe live here?
Yeah, but he doesn't give autographs.
I got a case for him.
What's your name, kid?
Drossos. Pete Drossos.
Come on in, Pete. This is Pete Drossos.
Are you mad, Archie? In the dining room, I am about to have dinner.
Eggs aren't dinner. I mean, he wants to consult you about a case. In the meantime, if you'll excuse me, I really have to run.
Not so fast, Mr. Goodwin. Take Huckleberry Finn with you.
Wait a minute, Nero. I could have gone to the cops, but I came to you.
And by what tortuous route did you arrive at that choice?
He means, why didn't you go to the cops?
Oh, 'cause they would have laughed at me, and I figured you wouldn't. And they wouldn't have listened to me, and I figured you would.
Well, of course we'll listen. Although, truthfully, the timing is rather unfortunate in light of Mr. Goodwin's plans for the evening. But duty supersedes pleasure. Is that not right, Archie?
He means, let's have it, Pete.
Okay, I work the corner of 6th to 7th and Park. Probably seen me there.
That's highly unlikely.
Mr. Wolfe is not what you would call a traveling man. He never goes out.
You're kidding.
Young man, just what is it you do on the corner of 67th Street and Park Avenue?
I work the white bracket. What that is when a car stops for a light, I go out there and wipe the windshield with a rag. It's good for 2 bits, sometimes $1.
And is there much demand for that service?
Well, most of the time all you get's dirty looks. Anyways, a couple of hours ago, this great foreign job pulls up. 2 people. A guy sitting in front, streak of white in his hair, and this dynamite fox behind the wheel.
Fox?
You know, a woman?
Yes, of course.
Well, she got this scratch down her face and these kind of weird earrings like gold spiders. And she's just moving her lips so the guy won't hear. And she's saying, scared like, help police. Then the light changes and that's all, folks. Except for this.
Connecticut, YQ9432. License number?
What else?
Satisfactory.
Well, is it a deal? Are we partners?
Partners? Partners in what?
Come on, a big car like that, a dame in big trouble, gotta be big money around. Like a reward, right?
A reward? Yes, that's a reasonable conclusion.
Hey, what time is it? Holy Maloney, my mom will have a fit. I'll catch you tomorrow, Nero. You can start on the case without me.
Yes, thank you, Peter.
Well, Dawn awaits.
Oh, Archie, tomorrow see the boy. Get an exact description of the woman in the car. Meanwhile, check out the license number tonight.
You're not going through with this.
But didn't you hear there's a lady in distress?
Look, the only reason I brought the kid in was because you were giving Fritz a bad time. He's probably conning you.
We mustn't demean my partner's information simply because he wipes windshields for a living, Archie. Now, you call your lady and make apologies. There will always be another dawn. Will he live?
It's touch and go.
The driver?
6 witnesses. Male, light complexion, regular features, anywhere from 20 to 40. Wearing a hat, one of those fancy Italian jobs.
Well, it's fairly clear when the boy was run down. He could identify the people in the car. I think what we will
We
have
have a
to...
visitor. She's waiting in the front room.
Can't you see we're busy, Fritz?
She said to tell you she's the boy's mother.
They let me ride in the ambulance. He couldn't talk too good. I had to listen real hard. His voice was so small, so weak. He said, "Tell Nero Wolfe to find out who got me." He said to give you this. I'd better get back to the hospital. Maybe you understand?
I do indeed, Mrs. Drossos. $12.35.
That's a lot of windshields.
Mr. Wolfe?
Close? This is his house?
He ran an ad in the personal columns of the Times this morning about a woman in a car.
Wearing spider earrings with a scratch on her cheek. Come in. Mr. Wolfe's up in the plant.
Yes, Archie, what is it?
This is the lady that came in answer to the ad, Laura Fromm.
Laura Fromm? So it was you who drove the gray foreign car on Tuesday?
Yes.
And it was you who asked the boy to call the police?
Yes, but there was no need to. It was all a misunderstanding. That's what I came to tell you.
I see. And are you now out of danger, Miss Fromm?
Yes. But I want to thank the boy. Would you give him this, please?
Well, the spider earrings certainly match the boy's description.
Well, of course. Why shouldn't they? I mean, I told you I was driving the car.
Archie, would you be good enough to examine the scratch on Miss Rome's cheek?
Sorry? Done with a small pointed instrument, possibly a needle, but more like a small pair of scissors.
Uh-huh. When?
Yesterday, maybe. More like this morning.
But certainly not on Tuesday.
Not a chance.
Yes, just as I thought. Miss Rome, you are a fraud.
I don't know what you mean.
Why did you come here pretending to be someone you are not?
I don't have to answer your questions. I'll find the boy, and I'll thank him myself.
Miss Frome! The car you say you were driving on Tuesday ran him down in the street yesterday. You can find him in the intensive care unit at Brookview Memorial Hospital. Now, Miss Frome, do you still insist you were driving the car on Tuesday?
No.
Then why did you come here?
I have to find something out first. I'll come back tomorrow. I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything, I swear. Could you not tell the police, please? Not yet.
If you mean to come back tomorrow.
I promise. Thank you.
I think we may have seen the last of Laura Frome. Who identified Miss Frome?
Her fiancé, Michael Doran, an attorney, and Jean Esty, her secretary at the Association for Displaced Persons, Laura Fromm's pet charity. They help refugees into the country.
Did Miss Frome leave a note before she fell from the balcony?
No note.
Yeah. Presenting us with a distinct possibility that she was pushed.
So where do we start?
I suggest your first call should be on the person most vitally affected by Laura Frome's death.
Her fiancé.
Exactly. Michael Doran.
I didn't know Laura as well as I might have, even though we were engaged. She kept things to herself. I don't know why she decided to do what she did. Does anyone ever know why people take their own lives?
There's a strong possibility that Miss Fromm didn't take her own life.
Are you suggesting it was not suicide?
Nero Wolfe thinks she was pushed.
There's no evidence, is there?
Not yet. Unless you have something to contribute, Mr. Doran.
You don't think I had anything to do with it?
When it happened, where were you?
At home. I had some personal matters to take care of.
Anyone see you?
If I had needed an alibi, I would have had one, Mr. Goodwin. But to answer your question, no one saw me.
Did Miss Fromm own a pair of gold earrings in the shape of spiders?
Yes, she had them made at Boudet's on East 58th Street. Why? Is it important?
Could be. Anyway, thanks for your help.
Mr. Goodwin, you'll probably hear sooner or later. Laura kept putting off our marriage, and she wouldn't tell me why. We had a quarrel about it yesterday, but I didn't kill her.
Good afternoon, Inspector Kramer. What can we do for you?
Now, why'd you put that ad in the personal column?
Oh, we had a little extra money. You know how it is.
Can we skip the soft shoe? Listen, I know Laura Fromm came to see you, Wolf. You know we're dealing with 2 murders. If the Drossos boy doesn't pull through, we're talking about 3. Now, I want to know what you know.
2 murders?
Who besides Laura Frome?
You ever hear of a man called Matthew Birch?
Never. Why?
His body was found in Van Cortlandt Park this morning.
What has that to do with the matter at hand?
He was run over by the same car that hit the Drossos boy. The lab found a piece of Birch's jacket snagged on the undercarriage.
Where did you find the car?
It was abandoned uptown, 186th Street. Stolen.
Did Birch by any chance have a streak of white in his hair?
How did you know that?
The boy described him.
Who was he?
Immigration and Naturalization Service. He was a field worker.
Yeah, well, what was his connection with Laura Fromm?
They both work with refugees. She's head of the Association for Displaced Persons. Now, about the ad. Was Laura Fromm driving that car? Is that why she came here?
No. The woman we're looking for is still out there somewhere, and presumably in grave danger.
Who is she?
If we knew that, we'd also know who killed Laura Fromm and Matthew Birch. We'll find her.
Wolfe. I'll find her.
Have you ever noticed how he gets out of a chair? He uses his legs, just his legs, never his arms or his hands.
He does it deliberately, just to make you mad.
Yes. Archie, both victims were connected with Laura Fromm's charity. Coincidence? Not likely. It's probable, therefore, that the answer is to be found at the Association for Displaced Persons.
You want me to start digging up their garden?
A sudden thought occurs to me. I want you to call on the people who work for the association and tell them all the same story.
Must be one hell of a story.
It is. It's despicable.
Arrangements. Good morning, Albert Logan's funeral arrangements. There seems to be some confusion about the flower instructions. Only Miss Fromm's secretary can clear it up.
I'll tell Miss Esty you're here, sir. This way, please. If you'll just wait here, sir.
I'm sorry, I just didn't expect
Are you Miss Jean Esty?
Yes, I'm Jean Esty. Who are you? Peckham said something about flowers?
Well, it was just a charade to get me in.
Yes, I know. Since it was decided not to have flowers at the funeral. All right. Now that you're here, what do you want?
I'm Archie Goodwin. I work for Nero Wolfe.
Inspector Kramer warned me you'd probably show up. He's asked me to relay any conversation I might have with you or your boss.
Are you supposed to be telling me this?
No. But it's been 24 hours since Miss Fromm was killed, and the police haven't a single clue. So I might as well go along with Nero Wolfe.
Well, now that's going to be a bit awkward. So I'll be blunt. I didn't come here as Nero Wolfe's messenger boy. I'm on my own. I'd like to make you an offer.
I don't date morticians.
Miss Esty, when Laura Fromm came to see Nero Wolfe, I was there.
I know that.
Do you also know that I have total recall?
Congratulations.
Now, I could recite everything that was said word for word for $5,000 in cash. Now, naturally, I don't expect you to have that lying around in an old pair of pantyhose, so this afternoon would be fine. But I do have to insist on being paid in advance.
This is really wild. Why would I be interested in what Laura told Nero Wolfe?
Look, I would be a fool to come here and stick my neck out if all I had to offer was a stale bag of popcorn.
You're wearing the wrong outfit, you know that? You really should have rented black fur with a big stripe down the back and a big bushy tail.
Pussycat?
Mr. Goodwin, take your disgusting offer and get out of here.
Yes, ma'am.
What about her cheek? Any sign of a scratch?
If there was, it would have healed by now. Or she's great with makeup. I'm on my way to the association. I have an appointment with the executive director, Angela Bell.
I suggest you change your clothes first.
Well, you know, I kind of hate to. So far, the reaction's been great.
Yes.
Mr. Goodwin is here.
He works for Nero Wolfe, a private investigator.
Ah, what does he want? Did he say?
Something to do with Laura's death.
Did she hire Nero Wolfe? Did she know what was going on?
I think we are about to find out. Send Mr. Goodwin in. I only have a few minutes, Mr. Goodwin.
Nice place. Must make all those downtrodden refugees feel right at home.
The building is owned by the Fromm family. We don't pay rent.
Sorry.
Just what is it you're selling?
Memories.
You want the $5,000 in advance.
That's the only way I can do it.
Here, right. On payment to me by Angela Bell of $5,000 in cash, I will relate to her promptly and in full the conversation that took place between Nero Wolfe and Laura Fromm last Friday afternoon. Date it and sign it.
And then what?
Then I'll give it back to you when you've kept your end of the arrangement.
Now, really, darling, if I were that big a sap, how long do you think I would have lasted as Nero Wolfe's right-hand man?
If you really want to know what I think, Hotshot, I think it's a setup. Now, I don't mind Mr. Wolfe's playing this little trick on me for God knows what purpose. You go back and tell him I resent being taken for a fool. Mr. Goodwin is leaving. I'll be with Paul Kessler the rest of the afternoon. Hold my calls.
What do you think, Angela?
Don't worry, Paul. We'll handle Mr. Goodwin.
Needless to say, I'm delighted you saved me a trip to the morgue, Archie. You know how I hate going out.
Well, far be it from me to upset your routine.
Oh, really? How did you manage to avoid that fate?
My trusty burglar alarm.
Oh, yes. You place that between the hood and the body, and then when somebody comes along and opens the hood...
When I get back, the match is gone.
Ah.
I used a piece of wire to hit the ignition. So who are we looking for?
There's still a missing part to the mosaic, Archie. The woman who drove the car on Tuesday. The woman wearing the golden earrings who asked Pete Drossos to call the police. and her. And we'll have all the answers. You will come down immediately, Archie. I want to talk to you.
I was on my way to see the PR guy from the association, Barry Green.
Mr. Green is here. Archie, this is a serious matter. Did you at any time in the past 24 hours promise anyone that for $5,000 you'd reveal everything you knew about a meeting between Miss Laura Fromm and myself?
I did not.
Now, you see, sir.
And of course you believe him.
Well, I've known Mr. Goodwin rather longer than I've known you, sir. He refuses to say who made the shocking accusation.
Naturally.
It was someone whose word I respect. May I smoke?
You may not.
It was Angela Bell. Furthermore, Mr. Wolfe, she thinks that you put him up to it.
That is absolute nonsense.
I wonder how the police would react if they knew that you were interfering in a murder investigation.
By all means, let's find out, shall we? Archie, get Inspector Kramer on the phone for Mr. Green.
Now, let's not go overboard. Fact of the matter is, I have a proposition for you.
All right, Archie.
Now, I'm prepared to pay $5,000 for the transcript of your conversation with Laura Fromm.
Mr. Green, a moment ago, you were ready to accuse us of obstructing police work. And now you are asking us to enter into a conspiracy. I prefer not to deal with a man capable of such an ethical somersault. So my answer is an emphatic no. Mr. Goodwin will see you out. Good day.
Yes, Doctor.
I'm Dr. Moore. Is the Drossos boy still in ICU?
Yes, he is.
They want me to see if he needs another brain scan tomorrow. I'll just look in on him.
Yes, of course, Doctor.
Strike two.
Come in, Mr. Kramer.
Well, I guess congratulations are in order, Mr. Wolfe. Switching those hospital rooms really paid off.
It seemed reasonable to expect that someone would try to silence the boy. He is, after all, the only witness.
You identify the phony doctor? Who was he?
You know, I really wish I brought the answer to this one in a pink ribbon, because it's a real shocker.
If you're going to tell us that he was not our murderer, I've just explained that to Mr. Goodwin.
Come on, you called the department. There's a leak.
The phone has not been off the hook, I assure you, sir.
Then how did you know that?
The man who tried to blow up Mr. Goodwin because he was getting too close to the truth was a professional. The impersonation of a doctor, again, clearly the act of a professional.
So?
Consider, on the other hand, the man we have been after. He runs a boy down in broad daylight before witnesses. He pushes Laura Fromm off a balcony where he might have been seen. And he runs down Matthew Birch with a stolen car, which could have been stopped by the police. The acts of an amateur, Mr. Kramer. The man we're after is a novice in the art of murder.
Okay. The man last night, his name is Joseph Moore. He's a hitman from L.A. He just got into New York 2 days ago.
So, it would appear that the person who hired him, our murderer, is still very much among the living.
Yes, and that brings me to the real reason that I'm here. I'm going to put this to you very plainly, Mr. Wolfe.
Please do, sir.
This case is bigger than you think. The government is in it now, and they don't want our little homicides messing up their ball game. So you lay back. Don't you and Goodwin go tramping around like a couple of bull elephants looking for a peanut. Clear?
You'll hardly know we're alive, sir.
Keep it that way.
Archie, did you see it? Did you see how he got up? He did it again.
Yeah, and that elephant stuff, that was deliberate, too.
Yes, he's a very aggravating man. Archie, if the government is showing this sudden interest, there has to be something going on inside the association. You have contacts at immigration. Sniff around.
My pleasure. I want to put some mileage on my new car, anyway.
He just drove away.
Immigration's drawing pictures on a blank wall.
In English, please.
They're not talking.
Your contacts never fail to impress me, Archie.
My mother taught me that gratuitous shots are definitely not high class, especially in front of an audience.
Nonsense. Theodore is family.
Thank you, sir.
Certainly.
One of my contacts didn't so much talk as drop a hint. She said some refugees need help. Some have to pay for it.
Yes. Well, if I were to hazard a guess, Archie, I'd say our friends at the association are involved in a vile scheme to smuggle the riprap of the world into this country. The murderers, the terrorists, the fascists, for exorbitant fees.
Charming.
As we need an investigator who can pick out the threads of this conspiracy. By now, your face is too well known.
How about Saul Panzer if he's not working on a case?
Yes. If ever a man looked as though he had a relative in need of a country, it's Saul Panzer.
I'm right next to Taggart's Cafe on 9th Avenue. I got a lead on a guy who palled around with Matthew Birch, Frank Egan. Well, he used to beat carpets for the heavies in the waterfront. Now, I'm supposed to meet him in a few minutes. He thinks my name's Burns.
I'm on my way, Saul. Now, when you see me park across the street, go on in and make your contact.
Now you're sure you can get my uncle into the country?
I told you that was the deal. You pay enough, they'll get Hitler in. Passport, visa, birth certificate, all Class A material. Just so they see the color of your money.
It's green. Where are we supposed to meet these people?
I'll take you. Let's go.
clean?
He's not carrying. Clean, I don't know. Take a look at his wallet. You got an uncle waiting across the ocean, and your name is Burns. That's what you said in the bar?
No. No, my name is Saul Panzer. I use the name Burns because, well, come on, fellas, you don't show all your cards, right? I mean, we're doing something illegal here. We're breaking the law.
Breaking the law? Who's breaking the law? Frank, you breaking the law?
We don't know what law you're talking about. All we do is help people in trouble with the immigration department. Ain't that right, Mark?
Look, I didn't level with you guys, but I do have this uncle, and he needs help bad.
You want to know something? I think you need help bad.
Go for it. Saul, get the guns. Well. What have we got here? Addresses, phone numbers? Must be 1,000 names in here.
We got a lot of friends.
German names, Spanish names, Greek names. Looks like the UN directory. You get this little black book from Matthew Birch? Who got it from the Association of Displaced Persons?
I'll ask the questions from here on in, Goodwin. Lay back, I said. And I knew what Wolf's answer to that was going to be, so I've had you tailed ever since. Thank you.
Satisfactory, Archie. But all Mr. Kramer has is 2 bent-nose types who were working for Matthew Birch. They might help the government's case, but we're still looking for a murderer. I still have another plan, though. I'll explain it to you in the morning. It's even more despicable than the last one. Good night.
Just why are we having lunch, Mr. Goodwin?
Okay, I'll level with you, Jean. May I call you Jean?
Can I stop you?
Nero Wolfe would like your friends at the association to come to his home this evening.
Are they being invited as suspects?
Oh, heavens, no. I mean, if they thought that, some of them might simply disappear. They respect you. They know how close you were to Laura. Kind of a last request from their employer. Put it in those terms.
You know, you're almost as irresistible as you think you are. But I'll really be doing it for Laura.
To begin with, ladies and gentlemen, a confession. I have brought you here under false pretenses. One of you is a murderer. Now, if any one of you is now thinking of a sudden escape, somewhat more than half of the night shift of the 18th Police Precinct are at this moment taking their positions around this house.
Mr. Wolfe, I don't like being used as a Judas goat, leading lambs to the slaughter.
Far from being lambs, Miss Este. Most of the people in this room are cheats, frauds, and extortionists.
Those are serious accusations.
Of course, I meant them to be. I'm accusing you, Mr. Green. You, Miss Bell, and you, Mr. Kessler, of running a contemptible scheme to smuggle the trash of 5 continents into this country for personal gain.
Are you also saying that we're guilty of murder?
That is possibly the only criminal act of which you are not guilty.
That leaves only me.
Yes, Mr. Doran.
Accusing me of 2 murders and the attempted murder of the boy? You're saying I killed Laura?
I don't recall saying that, sir.
I'm the only man left in the room. The implication is clear.
Do you subscribe to the convention that murderer is a word which may describe only a man?
But I understood. I mean, it was a man who ran the boy down. He was seen.
Yes, I know. And the answer kept eluding me. We were looking for 2 people. A woman wearing spider earrings, and a man who ran the Drossos boy down. In broad daylight, mind you, at a busy intersection in full view of witnesses. Almost as though the driver was indifferent at being seen by witnesses, or deliberately wanted to be seen. Leading me finally to the only possible conclusion: those two people were one and the same.
A woman dressed as a man?
A woman with her hair tucked into a hat, wearing a man's suit, shirt, and tie without lipstick or makeup, could easily have been mistaken for a young man with a pale complexion.
Are you saying that I killed them?
Yes, Miss Estee, that's exactly what I'm saying. You were the woman in the car with Matthew Birch. You were his accomplice in a blackmail scheme. These three smuggled refugees into the country for a fee. But you went one step further. You extorted large sums of money from them. If they resisted, their names would be turned into Mr. Birch's superior, meaning imprisonment or deportation.
There's not a shred of truth in that.
You are the woman Peter Drossos will identify when he recovers. You tried to run him down, and when that failed, you hired a professional assassin.
You have no proof.
Proof? My operatives will find all the proof they need, madam. They will find the man's jacket you bought, the shirt and tie, even the hat, which is sure to contain a strand or two of your hair.
Why would I ask the boy for help in the first place? To call the police, of all people.
The might was, madam. At that moment, you were afraid of Matthew Birch. Probably you'd had a falling out. You thought he was going to kill you. Somehow, you managed to win him over. He was foolish enough to trust you. And when you got him out of the car, you ran him down. Oh, believe me, Miss Estee, there will be more than enough proof. Archie, you may escort Mr. Green, Mr. Kessler, Miss Bell out to the waiting arms of the men of the 18th. They pollute the very atmosphere I breathe. Mr. Doran, you're obviously an honorable man. I'm sorry you had to be involved in this.
I loved Laura, you know. Truly loved her. But
there is one thing that still puzzles me. Why did you kill Laura Frome? She was your friend. She knew you had borrowed the earrings. She made a pathetic attempt to convince me she was the woman in the car. Even when she believed you had run the boy down, she didn't betray you. She was horrified, but she was loyal.
I didn't kill her. You must believe me.
Was it because she was going to turn you over to the police?
No, she never would have done that.
Then why?
I didn't kill her. I didn't. We were arguing. She was furious. We were in the apartment. She twisted away from me. She stumbled, and she went over the railing. It was an accident. She was gone. In an instant, she was gone. When she fell, my life went too. Don't you understand?
No, I do not understand.
She was going to leave me.
How are you feeling?
I don't know. All right, I guess.
You had a visitor.
You just came in.
And?
Well, that means you were outside.
And?
Why?
I found we were out of pâté de foie gras. So I went out to purchase some.
Where is it?
I ate it in the cab. Good night, Archie.